Well, welcome to another episode of We Don't Color on the Dog. We got with us Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons. Chip, thank you for doing this.
How are you doing, Rick?
It's a busy day.
It's always a busy day for you.
You're always busy. I'm in a little different world, but it is it's a news rich environment. Is all I can say right now. So we just keep going at it. One of the stories that's moving around the state is about deputies, sheriffs complaining that ICE has been going after their deputies with a pretty lucrative package if they'll sign on once they get through the training. I know we talked a little bit off the air that you've heard about it. Y'all haven't seen it up here yet, but what are you hearing about what's being offered?
Well, and that's it. I think to really understand just how bad I think this is, or how it really is, we have sheriff's offices, local municipal police departments have been asked by the governor and by ICE to assist them. So we have volunteered our employees to be certified to assist them, what we call 287G certified, to assist ICE. The bad part is that in getting the certification, this training, we provided them with agency email addresses. And then we get credentials. The deputies that go through this training get their credentials, and then again, they can work with ICE. And then what has happened is ICE has sent emails to, I don't know how many agencies, but I know several agencies. I've talked to several sheriffs that their deputies have received this request. And basically, it's a recruiting tactic. It's, hey, we got your email now. You got certified, and it's something like, dear colleague, you've shown an interest in this and that. We want to let you know that we are offering a $50,000 bonus paid, I think 10,000 years at a time, $10,000 at a time, and it's for 5 years, obviously. Man, is that not, biting the hand that feeds you? We went through all of that, took our time utilizing our local resource, not ours yet, but local resources, and then they try to recruit you right out from under you using the very emails that we give you for the training. That's poor form, and I'm surprised at how that took place.
Right. And we know how competitive it is to get good officers, and you've done a great job of recruiting. Uh, your training academy is head of the curve on keeping people in the pipeline, and then all of a sudden to have this a new competition that you never thought was going to happen.
And it's like me asking a neighboring agency, hey, can you come help us with an event we got? And then when we got you there, we give them an application. It's just not the right way to do things. You mentioned, recruiting. It's always it's a continuous thing for law enforcement agencies. And you're right, we have done very well. We've done probably as well as we've done in 50, 60 years. Uh, and it's mostly I think, because of a culture that we've built here at the sheriff's office, in addition to our own training academy. We are the cool place to be right now. And we love that. We enjoy that. So it's not that we would be concerned about losing our deputies, because again, we think that we have an operation that's second to none. It's just the way that they would go about doing it. Now, we haven't got the emails yet, unless they're caught in our spam filter. But I don't know if we're next on the list, huh? Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we have a pretty robust IT section, and I guess that's what we do. If we see something's recruiting, then we'll just block that. We'll let
Exactly.
that go. But we were talking about that just a couple of hours ago about why people come here and what we have to offer, and quite frankly, it's the chance to be a law enforcement officer in your hometown, or a hometown in a community that loves law enforcement, very supportive, very gracious. You could be a patrol deputy, you could be an SRO, you could be a process server, you could be a narcotics officer, a SWAT officer, a Marine unit, a diver. You could be a trainer, you could do a number of things here at an agency like the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. So it's not that we're concerned about losing anyone. It's just the way this thing unfolded, that we have bent over backwards to try to help them in their hour of need. And we do believe in helping our federal and state agency partners. Speaking of that, as I understand it, they didn't send this email to the Florida Highway Patrol or the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. That should tell you something.
Yeah, yeah. Let's. just talking about the different roles that people play. Before we got on, I scanned your Facebook page for the sheriff's office, and there's a program that a lot of people may not know a lot about, and that's the Guardian program. You've had eight more people get trained for that. Talk a little bit about that for our schools.
Yeah, I've always been a fan, obviously, of having sworn law enforcement officers in every school. I campaigned on that 5 years ago that I think that's what should happen. There's a cost to that, and I understand that. So we have what I'll call a very robust school resource officer program. And then in partnership with the school district itself, they choose to hire guardians to fill some of the gaps. Now, we don't typically talk about which schools have guardians, which ones have, sworn deputies in it, but by state statute, the sheriff, not required, but can provide this training to the school districts and then provide guardians, not provide guardians, but the school district will actually employ the guardians. We provide the training and the certification, and that's what's taken place. It's been going on for a couple of years. We have a great partnership with Keith Leonard and the school district, and they're committed to having a sworn deputy or a Pensacola police officer or a guardian in every school. I mean, I think it's fantastic. The training's not easy either. It takes some time. There's some very rigorous firearms training. There's a number of things that they have to qualify with just to put them in that yellow shirt.
Yeah, it is. We're getting ready for the school year. We've had early on, there were some incidences that we were worried about during sporting events. It seems to have calmed down some. Well, you don't want to think about knocking on wood.
Don't
You don't
jinx
want
these
to.
things. No.
So and that was something to deal with very early on. But now it seems to settle out just a little bit more. It is, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we obviously take every what we'll call a school threat
Right.
very serious. We have investigators that look into every single threat. There's a threat assessment that is conducted. And yes, typically in the summertime, those school threats obviously will tone down some. We do expect, unfortunately, for us to hear a couple more things as school starts back up, school ramps back up. People unhappy with the class they got, or the students that are in their class, and then you got the football games are probably the most well attended special events that a school can have, certainly a high school. So we expect that there might be an uptick in school threats, but again, we evaluate them. We have a partnership with the school district. We have a partnership with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And again, this isn't our first school year. Our SROs are certified. They've been to training throughout this summer as well. So we feel like we're in a pretty good position. And as a threat or a suspicious activity takes place, then we will investigate it thoroughly.
Well, and that's another value of having an SRO, that when you've got a big football game coming up, or that they're in the school and they hear a lot of things that can be helpful.
Well, and that's part of it. They get build a rapport with the students. The students understand that it's okay to, if you have a concern, to talk to not just a representative from the school, not just your teacher, not just your dean or your principal, but you also have an option to talk to that school resource officer, whether it's a middle school or a high school. And then, as you mentioned in the games, the SROs know the students. They know the teachers. They know the campus. They're very well versed in the gates and the locks and what should be open and closed. I would also mention that our real-time crime center, we have access to a lot of cameras throughout our school district. So I'll say that the students have never been more secure, never been more safe. But that's not to say that we're not always on the lookout for things that are they're suspicious, whether we see them or whether we hear about them.
I've noticed that with the Real Time Crime Center that you've had a mobile unit downtown for a while now, since the 4th of July. Is that something that you see adding something more cameras downtown to help?
Yeah, we had a partnership with the city of Pensacola, and we provided cameras for some of their parades. The camera that you see that's been down there, that's actually not our camera. That's on loan from another entity. I'll let the Pensacola Police Department explain where that came from.
They're just watching my office, is what we're saying right now.
Yeah, no, that's not our camera. We have
We're
more enticing targets than that, than what time you go to lunch and come back. But no, our mobile camera platforms are very well received, and they certainly add a benefit of the safety benefit to the citizens of Escambia County. And we when we need them, we put them out, and we're going to continue to add to our selection of cameras.
The one other thing on the enforcement side, I also noticed that you have a high visibility enforcement day coming up. What does that entail?
Well, it's a grant funded opportunity for us to just remind people about the speed. So we will partner with the Highway Patrol and the Pensacola Police Department, and we really just want to be highly visible. We're not hiding behind a tree anywhere. We want people to understand. It's like announcing where a checkpoint is going to be. It's like, hey guys, we're going to be here. So slow it down. Wear your seatbelt. Don't drink and drive, and all these things that cause accidents. We want to make sure that people understand that we're going to be out here, and it serves as a reminder, and it's maybe something on the top of their mind that they can continue even when we don't have this high visibility operation taking place.
Now, we've talked about the enforcement. The other set thing that you and I always talk about is the engagement side. What do y'all have coming up with community engagement? It's going to start cooling off hopefully soon.
I don't know. We always think it's going to cool off in September because football season starts, but it takes a couple more weeks after that. Not until the fair it typically it cools down. But we're starting our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy Thursday night, and it filled up within just a couple of hours. So we're very excited that people are excited to see what we've got going on at the sheriff's office. I think people would be surprised at just the size of the operation here at the sheriff's office and what we're tasked with by statute, and just the number of buildings and the fleet we have, the number of personnel that we have, all designed to keep Escambia County safe. So the Citizens Law Enforcement Academy will start this Thursday. It'll carry on for I think 7 weeks, and then we'll have a graduation from that. So that's one of our more successful operations that we have and offerings that we have. And then we're going to start with our movie night. In fact, we have a meeting next week to go over that the calendar, to say, hey, where are we going to go? I know we're looking at targeting somewhere in Century, and then we'll probably have one in Beulah, and then we're looking at some other communities that we've had in the past, and see if we need to move it around some, or we'll have it for our movie nights. You're right. It helps when it's 68 degrees instead of 88 degrees.
Right.
For someone to step outside and watch a movie, because we can't wait till 9 o'clock to start it when it's really cool. So if we want kids there, so we have to start when it's still relatively warm. But please pay attention to our social media platforms, because we're going to start announcing our calendar of events here shortly, and we're excited to do so.
Chip, thank you for coming on as always. Let's hope that we don't get too many. Your deputies don't get too many letters from ICE. Maybe we can keep them here.
Yeah. Mind your own business.
Yeah,
All right.
really. All right. And you're
Take
sure
care,
you
Rick.
don't have to with that camera outside my office? Now I'm
That's
nervous.
not us. That's not us.
All right. Take
All
care.
right. Take care.
Thanks for watching, and to keep up with what's going on, be sure and subscribe. Just click on the little dog to the right and click the subscribe button. You can also like this video and click on the bell, which will notify you of new content. This really helps the channel grow. We appreciate you.